extra, and he just came up short. Again, I think Awonder and Wesley has been regaling their audiences with some
Awonder seems to
improv.
be looking for something from...
Fabiano and Awonder did have the same
I think we
position
kind of understood
until Castles.
this past
C2,
year
C3,
that
yeah.
Joko Piano is not going anywhere. Joko Piano is here to stay at every level of the competition, and it just seems to be one of the best ways to give white players with the white pieces a chance to fight for something, a chance to fight for a game. Unless, you know, you want to fight and find something against the Berlin, which is easier said than done.
It's been difficult for the best players in the world to come up with some new ideas against the Berlin. Knight, f6, d2, d3, d7, d6. And just staying with this game between Fabi and Awonder for just a brief moment, just to speak about Awonder. He's doing phenomenally well, as he himself admitted or confessed. He wanted to come to the championships, draw all of his games, and quickly withdraw to the University of Chicago to continue his studies. His opponents have thwarted him by avoiding drawn positions. They forced him to play for a win, and guess what? He has won. He's also done it impressively by staying ahead on the clock. I think in virtually all of his games, he's played very quickly, and he's true to form today. In fact, both Fabi and Awonder have more time now than they started with. So, for Awonder, is he thinking still, look, a draw is fine, I got a black? Or is he thinking, my gosh, this is inconceivable, but can I win the U.S. Championship?
I don't think this is how he's thinking. I think he's really just, let's make a draw.
Let's make a draw, and away we go. Talk to the current position, Christian, because I was always taught when they play bishop b6, be aware of knight a5.
Yeah, I don't think
stable, maybe bishop c1 to kick the rook. Quick question. I was thinking rook to d3, defend the pawn on d6, playing for, obviously, bishop f5, trying to get the knight to a bad circuit. What do you think about the move rook to d3?
I was thinking if I can be very tricky with bishop takes d6, but unfortunately it doesn't work. Because if you capture on d6 with knight,
Yep.
I have knight c5.
Oh, how sweet it is, yeah.
And anytime you try to play, let's say, bishop f5 to defend the rook, to have 2 pieces for a rook, I always have a skewer at the end with rook d1.
That is a nice variation, to be sure.
But the problem is with bishop takes d6 is that you start with bishop f5.
Start with bishop f5 and not capturing but attacking the knight. If the knight were to move, now I can recapture it and at the same time defend. So fortunately,
So this doesn't work, these
Right.
tactics.
I do have a back rank. So a2, a4 is premature. I can take. You won't be able to recapture, and that's a big pawn. Now the reason I didn't want to play the move d6, d5 is I wanted to not allow the knight to get to the c5 square. So that is why I played the move rook to d3. Almost a dream come true. You shouldn't play like this. I'm not, like something like this, right? Where I could stop you, if I put it that way. If I could stop you from getting your knight to c5 and I could go back to rook a3, then I would be thinking I have a pretty significant
I like
advantage.
this move rook d3.
I think so too, because once again, if I can play d5 as white, if I can get my knight to a secure position, I feel like my chances of holding the game really improved dramatically.
But this rook on a1 is so ugly.
Don't blame me. Look, I'm the idea guy here. The big ideas, Don't bother me with the details. Carissa, yeah.
Yeah, let's go there.
I do believe that Fabiano and Awonder are just about to agree to a draw.
Which is a great result for Fabiano. I was
Absolutely.
struggling in this.
Considering
Oh,
the position.
absolutely.
Considering the position. For a wonder, he's
It's
going
what
to say,
he came to play.
yeah, I
I
wasn't
wanted a draw.
thwarted today. I was a little bit uncomfortable. My opponent was forcing me to play for a win, and I got such a big advantage. I was afraid.
And I'm sure he
I
knew.
win.
Look, he knew. You can see Awonder is not super happy about this result. Normally he would be ecstatic. He
Right.
just drew against the second best player in the world right now,
Hello,
Fabiano
hello.
Caruana, with the black pieces.
Right.
Effortlessly, I might add. But he knows he had a great opportunity to
Maybe.
win this one.
Yeah.
And if he would have won this one, he would be the favorite.